right, you bunch of yahoos, strap yourselves in for another episode of Dan and Don's Toxic Masculinity.
In other words, shut up, sit up, and pay attention. And here we are. We're back for another episode of Toxic Masculinity. Tonight we are without the services of our co-host, Don the Predator Fry. He's got a few medical issues. He's taking place, but we got Tony Martinez that is stepping up the plate to help fill in and to make things go through. And yours truly, Dan to be Severn. We have a special honored, I should say, we are honored to have a special guest here this evening. We've got EJ Snyder. EJ Snyder, in my opinion, is a rock star in a lot of different ways. First off, he's an Army Ranger. He might be a retired Army Ranger, but once a Ranger, always a Ranger. You know, Ranger instructor, survival and tracking instructor, drill sergeant. Basically, when he wasn't filming Survivor shows, he basically regularly working as a survivalist and military consultant, world-renowned class survival instructor, writer, TV host, and legend on Discovery Channel's Naked and Afraid. CJ, I don't know what else to put in there. To me, it's like going, we talked off the air there for a little bit. As I said before, in my opinion, you're a rock star American because you've got that can-do spirit. You don't wait around and mope and cry. You just take charge and get things done.
Yeah, they don't call me the skull crusher for nothing. If there's an object or a problem or something in front of me that I can't open up a door and go through it, it's just a solid wall. I'm going to find a way around it, over it, or under it. And if I can't, I'm going right through it and going to smash the whole thing to smithereens for sure.
Let's jump into Naked and Afraid. How did you find out about this in the first place, or did they approach you, or did you see something and you sent something in, call somebody, or?
They tried me out for a show called Dual Survival, and they replaced Dual Survival, where you have two different mindsets on survival. One's more of a bush hippie, bushcrafter type, man of the, a woodland kind of a guy, and then you have kind of a military guy, and they get thrown into a situation and they got to work together to figure out how to get through that scenario. So I tried out for it. They were replacing one of the original hosts. Another guy kind of beat me out. We'll just leave that where it was with his fake resume and everything. But they said, EJ, we love you. We'll give you a call. I was doing some other stuff at the time. I was doing a venture race in Fiji. I was drinking my beer because we had lost the race. We didn't win our 100 grand on the race. And I got a call. And I'm looking out the window as these waves are breaking in, and it's a guy, Steve Rankin was the showrunner. He says, mate, Discovery loves you. We told you we'd call you back. We've got this new extreme survival show. You're one of the most qualified survival guys we've come across our roster in a long time. We think you would be great. You're very tough, and you got that military mindset. We want to put you in Tanzania and see if it works. So I said, all right. So as the weeks go on, I'm having meetings with these guys. So they say, oh, yeah, minimal gear. Then it starts to be like strip poker. Oh, we're going to take away your backpack, and that's it. Oh, we're going to take away this other gear. We're going to take away your shirt, all your pants, your shoes. I'm like, dang, all I got left is my underwear. So it's like, yeah, you're just going to go out there naked with a couple items. I was like, and I thought they were joking, really. So I show up in Africa. I've signed the contract. Me and Kelly are out there, and I'm throwing my clothes. They're like, all right, you get off here. You're going to go meet your partner. Now take your clothes off. I was like, you guys are serious? So I start throwing my clothes off, throwing my shoes in there, and running through my head is, am I going to have a seat at the VFW anymore? What's my mom going to think? Oh, my God. Am I still going to have a job when I get back? And I was like, oh, well, you guys are paying, I'm playing. And so we filmed the very first Naked and Afraid episode, 21 days. I was also brought into, while trying to survive, consult on the show and help build a hit series with the producer. So I'm doing 3 jobs at one time. My partner, she's surviving. That's her job. I'm secret meetings behind a rock trying to figure out how we can make a show out of this. And nobody knew what they were doing. When I met my partner, I pull out this crappy map that looked like a kindergartner drew it. And I says, all right, Steve, so 21 days, this is our playground. Where the hell you want me in 21 days? He's like, oh, there's an X on the map. I'm like, there's no X on the map. He pulls a Sharpie out and he goes, oh, give me that. Right there, mate. That's that mountain right there. 21 days, you'll be up there. A helicopter will come get you.
That'd be your
All
extraction
right.
point. Okay, I got your extraction
Yeah,
point, all right?
extraction point. And I'm like, so what now? He's like, well, go do your survival stuff. We'll follow. I'm like, all right, Kelly, let's go. And little did I know that those first few steps would walk into history. It's been a very hit. It's been a hit series ever since it started. It became addicting to people. I was
Oh,
getting
it
bashed.
is.
Yeah, I was
I-
getting bashed for 6 months until Good Morning America did a little pilot on it, and people started to understand it. And it's been a hit series for 14 regular seasons where you have 21 days, strange man, strange woman, naked, survive 21 days. And then we have the XL version, which has done 8 versions of that. I've been on 3 of those, where it started out initially 40 days. Then they wanted to push the envelope and they let a couple people go out for 60. And then the 40-day people joined them later on. And then they decided, let's try 60 days with 12 people. And then I did that one. And now I just went out again. They had this last season. It was 4 people trying to make 60. And then each of them had 2 people underneath them trying to go for 40. And at the end of 40, they could just say, well, I want to stay 60 now and try to go 60. So it's an incredible season. The first week they had 6 people tapped out, gone.
So you weren't supposed to be on this last season.
I wasn't supposed to be there. And then they called me up. They called Matt and Jeff and asked if we would come down to help. And that's what I did. Went in there not to be the hero, not to take anyone's thunder, but to help the people that were left. And
Right.
then I went in and did 43 days. One of the other guys that went in with Jeff, he didn't make it. He got sick. He only lasted maybe 9 days and he was gone. And me and Matt, we stayed with them. So we had 2 people finish 40 days. And then me and Matt got 4 people, helped them out. And then we got them to 60 days. But to Amber, Steven, Waz, and Dan, I mean, unbelievable effort. You know, they would have made it on their own. They were that tough. But it was really nice to have them around. I was with Steven before. He was the main guy I was with. He did 60 days with me in the swamp, so I knew what kind of kid he was. So
Yes,
I just need to hang out with them, and we hang out outside the show, so we have a great time together. So,
Well, typically on this show, they always say that you're allowed to bring one item.
yes.
One item that what was that? What was the one item that you typically would bring with you?
For me, my number one survival item, as you can go to my website, EJSnyder.com, I talk about it all the time. It's a survival knife. This is a little outline of the knife I designed. The first knife I took to Africa broke. When I got back from Africa, I said, I'm never going to let that happen ever again. I need a 1-tool option. That one's from Tops Knives, called the SXP, Skull Crusher Extreme Blade. It's the most used blade on the show. And probably Matt Wright, he's also a knife maker. He makes his little Savage blades that people take. A fixed blade, meaning it's full metal all the way through the handle, is
Okay.
so critical.
I know, because I kind of looked at it. I
Yes, sir.
saw it when on a couple of the videos that you're in, but when I saw it there, it kind of reminded me of a little bit of like a tomahawk. But I go, but that's a blade all the way down below that. So I said that's a multifunctional type of a blade. So can
Absolutely.
you
It's got the
explain a little
draw
more
blade. Yeah.
the
Because you
design
chop
on
so
it?
much wood. Yeah. You're building stuff. You're chopping so much wood. You have the draw blade. You can carve with it. You can gut. I did a video on my website, a knife only video, where I go out for like 3 or 4 days with just that knife and show how to survive with just a knife. I did a whole video series on basic survival, but that's the final chapter of those series of 11 videos, is just knife only. And so everyone gets to bring one item. I brought a knife. That one broke out there the first time. Kelly brought a pot. The second time we went to the Amazon, 3 people quit that time. Me and a girl named Laura Zera, who's the best female survivalist on the planet. We went in there, and we were the first 2 to ever do it twice. And everyone, even the locals, said, nobody can do this 21 days. She brought a knife. I brought a fire starter with a magnesium end on it, so we could.
Did you guys communicate before, just to know that, okay, I got a knife, you got a fire starter, you know you got a good combination, or just luck out?
On that one, didn't you have to use?
1 through 4.
Didn't you have to use whatever they left that time? Because I think you said 3 people left that before you got there, right? And that's what they took in.
Yeah, one guy never got off the boat, so they brought a replacement guy in for him. Those two people came in with a machete and a fire starter.
Mhm.
So we brought items that you normally do 4 items, and you number them 1 through 4, and the producer and the local survival people figure out what you're going to have the best chance of survival out there. And so when we went in, they decided we want EJ and Laura to bring in the same 2 items, a knife and a fire starter, as the people that tap, so we can see how it can be done. So we went in that time with a knife and a fire starter. I killed a 6-foot electric eel. That was our main meal out there.
Yes.
Built this amazing raft to get us out of there. That's what we're most known for on that episode.
I know Tony's got a couple questions for you about the eel. So go ahead there, Tony.
So the first I saw you guys kill the first one, and it didn't look like it shocked anybody really. I mean, at least what they showed on TV.
Yeah, the first eel I ever killed with Laura was in a water hole, like a pond. So the Amazon River floods and then it recedes. And so there's pockets of little ponds and lakes in the Amazon when you get in the jungle. And we found that one. I think he was in a hibernative state.
Okay.
So when I hit him, or I severed his spine right off, because he didn't shock me.
Yeah.
But when I went the next time to Colombia for 40 days, and I was on the alpha male team with Jeff and Hakeem, we lost Hakeem after a week. And so it was just me and Jeff, and we picked up Shane along the way.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 of us went in there, and that electric eel came in there, and that one shocked the living dickens out of us.
Yeah.
I think
like
Jeff took 4 hits. I took 7 hits from that thing.
That thing throws out like over 500 volts, something like that.
It's they said it's like 600 to 700 volts each shock.
Wow. And then even being in water, I mean, that has to shock. I mean,
yeah, it's conducting in the water. So you're like,
I remember seeing Jeff hit him with the knife, and
oh yeah,
man, that's
hitting it with a knife and you're getting shocked. It's letting the electricity all through the water. On the 4th one, it hit Jeff in the heart. I had him sit down.
Yeah.
So then I went in there and I'd start hacking on it, and I hit it about 7 times. And on the 7th one, it hit me in the heart. Shane comes down. He's an electrician by trade. He's been zapped all the time. So he goes in there in one swing, gets the zap, but he cuts the thing in half. It's like, and talk about good eating.
Yeah. What's been the best thing that you've eaten out there?
The swamps, it's a tie. The swamps, we had armadillo. And armadillo, we put in this can cookers like a pressure cooker. After we pulled the bones and the guts out, it literally has its own fats, oils, and seasonings inside itself. The most delicious food I've ever ate in the wild in that situation. And then when this time in the Amazon, our guy Matt, who's legendary with this bow.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He was nailing the comungo bird, which is a turkey, a wild turkey.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Calling a horn screamer. The sucker's got these big thorns at the end of its wings on each elbow. And if you come at him, he's going to back up and get to a spot where he can just defend himself. And you'd appreciate that, Dan. He'll hit you with those spikes pretty fast and make you sing another tune.
Like Matt made a necklace out of those, right? It was awesome. I saw.
Yeah, he made a necklace with a couple of them. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
I used the birds I had you'll see in the series, I had hanging from my neck was actually its pelvic bone, but it looked like a weird skull. And I was like, what the heck you got there? I says, oh, that's the chupacabra. That's the chupacabra skull.
The chupacabra. I like it. So what are those? I saw now you have obviously, what is it, 6 of those little, what are those made out of, hemp or?
All right. So these
what are those
beads
symbolize?
Yeah, all these little round beads, one for every challenge I've been on. I got 6 of them.
Yeah.
They are actually a microphone.
That's what I thought.
They're a microphone out there. The wire runs down the strap that goes over your shoulder, and in the bag is a transmitter in a waterproof bag. Now, if you're going to go deep submersion or at night when they got to recharge the stuff, they give you a fake necklace and another bag, and then you just diary cam. They've got cameras in the camp. So it's an honor to wear these. I am in the camp of you don't wear them unless you made at least 21 days. You know, for each one you pass, you get it. There's only 3 of us that are 6 challenges and no taps. Me, my partner, Stephen Lee Hall Jr., and Max, who was my partner in the swamps, who came and found me. And Matt has 6 challenges, but he's got 7 challenges, 1 tap, but he's got 6 of these as well.
And his was due to medical issues, right?
Yeah, he had a medical tap the first time he was in the Ecuadorian Amazonian jungle. Now, this was a gift. It's a jaguar's tooth that
wow.
a chieftain out there was a good friend of mine from the first time I was out there, gave that to me. It's got a special piece of wood and a prayer bead on it. And then down the line, we got a black bear claw, because we got stalked by a black bear in the swamps, and I wanted to honor that. Nice, yummy gator. That's a gator tooth. And next, I got a wolf tooth, one wolf fang, representing each of the wolf packs that were stalking me when I was in the Bulgarian mountains on my alone naked afraid challenge. So I wanted one. The wolf is my spirit animal, so I got a lot of respect for him. And so I wanted one fang to represent each of those 2 packs. And then lastly, a caiman tooth each, because caiman's yummy.
Yep. What say that?
Worst thing I ever ate, tadpole soup. Oh, Kelly made that for us in Africa. It was the most god-awful thing I ever put in my mouth.
So back to your first show. What was it like the first time you walked up on another naked person in the wild?
It was different. I mean, I'm pretty comfortable with my own skin. Here I am for the world to see. So that really didn't bother me. But I'm an old-fashioned guy. And in that time, I was still thought on gender roles and stuff was still pretty traditional. Men are men, women are women. Not saying that she couldn't be a good outdoors woman and help, but I also wanted to be gentleman. I want to be a gentleman out there. And then she just jumped up and hugged me. I said, okay, we just throwing that out the window. That's all good. Yeah. And that really broke the ice, and we both laughed about it later on. And
how old were you? How old were you, EJ, for that first episode?
I was 47.
47. Wow. Still, that's incredible, though.
He started late, just like you, Dan.
Yeah, 47.
And you both dominated. And you both dominated what you do. It's amazing. You guys are, like I said, they broke the mold. They need more men in this world like you guys.
It's been quite a journey,
especially with you growing up in. I mean, you grew up in you said North Jersey. I mean, what part? Yeah. I've been all through New Jersey, quite a bit for my professional days. I went almost every other month. I was going into New Jersey practically for the National Wrestling Alliance. So I traveled all through there. So what parts of New Jersey are we talking about?
I was in mostly in and around Hackensack.
Hackensack.
Grew up, Hackensack. My folks live in New Milford. I was in Paramus. Graduated from Lyndhurst High School. Spent some time out west in Hackettstown. But mostly, in and around right there around Hackensack, Cresskill, Paramus, South Hackensack, New Milford, and Lyndhurst.
I mean, that was the first time going through there. Everything, all the restaurants, they're known as diners. That was the first time I ever seen it. I kept thinking, why every place is known as a diner here in this state. I mean, it's like, where other places that have all their individual names, but it's always diner this, diner that. But
they're big things. Or you got a pizzeria on every corner. It's pretty interesting. I mean, pretty much I tell people, well, what'd you grow up in Jersey? Like, Tony, the Sopranos, the TV show, when they go through the Montauk, that was my neighborhoods. When Jersey City, all in those areas, that's where my stomping grounds were.
And what's the most the gas stations that are out there? They're all. I mean, I noticed that was the first time I've seen it, but there's the same brand all across the state. It's like a very common one for the state of Jersey, but it's not back in Midwest or Western states at all.
I know they got Luke Oil, which is actually a Russian gas company.
Now it was all where you literally you go in there and then you get all kinds of cool food and stuff like that, but it's not back. Wawa's, there you go, Wawa's.
Yeah, Wawa's.
Yeah, Wawa's. Exactly. That's the first time I ever went into a Wawa. I'm thinking, what the heck is a Wawa? I'm thinking, what name does this represent or something like this? But yeah,
apparently it's some kind of a bird. That bird that's on the sign. Apparently, I still don't think I really know all these days.
Yeah. Well, again, I fell in love with the Wawas because literally one stop I could get it all between just get my gas tank filled up and get myself something to fill me up. Keep on
Still
going.
To this day, they have gas jockeys out there pumping the gas.
Yes, that's surprising because the first time I get out, I'm starting to pump my gas. The guy's like, "Oh, you can't do that." I'm thinking, "What?" And he's like, it shocked me the fact that I think it's the only state that actually does still pump your gas for you. Yeah.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
just a few other states but it's in like one or two towns or cities, and then I think one county in upstate New York.
Thank you for watching another episode of Dan and Don's Toxic Masculinity. You better like, subscribe, and share, or I'm going to come to your house.